gonna give in now. I think gonna live this now. I think gonna be man, I'ma kill this stuff real quick. I'ma go take it to town, cause I gotta be that king in the ring when I'm knocking them out when I'm back with the whip. Cause I am just up on the journey. Just know that I'm just going insane.
Warriors, rise, man. As all this crypto manipulation happens, you hear all this hype about regulation coming. Banks, or a specific bank that I'm going to show you facts, figures, numbers, logic, tested custody for their customers. We've been talking about this for the last 2.5 years on this channel, is that banks are able to custody your cryptocurrency. They've been approved by the OCC to custody, hold your cryptocurrency. Now, why would they need to do that, and why would they want to do that? Cryptocurrency is going to be a brand new asset class in the future. Banks are being squeezed in their profit margins. Banks make money through interest income, okay, fee income, and capital markets income. Capital markets is like the stock market, transactions going back and forth. Well, we're coming up on the Shemitah, and you can see the stock market is being challenged right now. If the stock market comes collapsing down, that's their customers' money. Number 2 is fee income. Now there's so much opportunity and ability for customers to use banking systems outside the traditional banking system, cutting into their fee income. And then you have interest income. We're in a high interest rate environment where the wealthy only have access to money. And we're in a low interest rate environment for a very long time, and everybody was borrowing money. So now the public is going to be losing their money. They're going to be cash poor, right? Interest rates are super high. They're not going to be borrowing, and they're going to need to move money at the speed of light. They're going to need liquidity. The banks are going to need liquidity. So they are feverishly working behind the scenes to get set up with distributed ledger technology and to be able to custody your cryptocurrency. Now, most banks are set up in an old archaic banking system, okay? The SWIFT system. So they are all going to be moving eventually to ISO 20022, which is the messaging system. That's the messaging layer. Now, why would they need a messaging layer that moves at the speed of light? Because money is going to move at the speed of light. So they're getting the messaging system set up first, and then companies or corporations or commercial banks will move into a distributed ledger technology that moves money at the speed of light. So when I send money to you in Australia, when I hit the switch, it takes seconds. What happens right now is I walk into a bank. I have to do a transaction with the banker or do it online. It has to go through the Federal Reserve, up and through the Federal Reserve. Well, the FedNow Services is still going to keep that all attached so they can track every system of movement throughout the system, but it's just going to move at the speed of light. So they're just working to get up with technology, Web 2.0 to Web 3.0. So let me pause for just a moment. My name is Coach JB. I am the top health, mindset, crypto, and business coach in the world. And I'm here to bring information to you. I'm not a financial advisor. I wouldn't trust a word I say, but trust the feeling and vibration it creates in your body and act accordingly. I am the CEO of the 3T Warrior Academy. You can see the name down below. We help people that are new to cryptocurrency or experienced in cryptocurrency get their shit together in this new quantum financial system with access to our portfolio, specifically my portfolio, a weekly CEO update, 7 calls per week, tons of human interaction, sections where you can ask questions, nutrition, mindset, cryptocurrency courses, over 100 cryptocurrency courses, connection calls. We have everything you need to have the right tribe and the right vibe in the system. So www.3twarrior.com. I'll see you on the other side. All right, so let's dive right into it, Warriors. I'm going to dive into some facts, figures, numbers, logic. What I like to do is I like to pull myself to a 30,000-foot overview so that I don't get fudded out and I don't make bad decisions personally, because people watch what I do, right? In regards to cryptocurrency, we have 4,500 warriors that have gone through our academy, 1,400 active warriors in our academy. And so moves that I make, I'm very open and honest about it. Every single week, I tell people the CEO update of what I'm doing, right? Now, it's not financial advice. Am I going to pick all the winners? No. Am I going to pick some losers? Yes. But what I'm doing is deep, methodical research and making decisions, not based on, there was a message going back and forth in one of our groups that I'm a Bitcoin maxi now. I own 0 Bitcoin right now, 0. People say I'm an XRP maxi. I'm not an XRP maxi either. I talk about XRP because I understand XRP. I understand the banking system, and I understand the solve for banking. I'm a very fundamental investor. If Bitcoin drops in between 10,000 and 14,000, absolutely, I'm going to buy some Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. Ethereum is not going anywhere. XRP is not going anywhere. XLM is not going anywhere. Warriors, there's many cryptos that are not going anywhere. They're already up and running. Okay, so these are how I make my decisions around cryptocurrency. Well, I don't listen to the FUD of people saying crypto is going to go to zero. Are some cryptos going to collapse to zero? Absolutely, just like the dot-com days. There's going to be many companies that go smashing down to zero very quickly overnight, where a lot of people are going to lose their money in some of the very speculative crypto assets. Then there's going to be some cryptocurrencies that go skyrocketing, and then eventually it's going to even out just like the stock market. It's going to be a normal market. But these times right now are the times where if you pick a couple winners, it can change your whole family's timeline. But in the academy, I show you guys the 5 pillars of wealth. You can't just be in cryptocurrency, warriors. You have to be diversified. You have to protect your wealth. You have to understand you need barterability just in case the US dollar collapses. You need to understand how to take profits. And then where do you put that profit? Do you go buy Lamborghinis and houses, or do you secure it and lock it up so you can become your own bank and understand how the money system works? Okay, so let's dive into this. So this is from Visa. This is page 7 on it. Let me just show you what this is right here. And then we're gonna listen to somebody from Visa right here, and we're gonna listen to somebody from Commonwealth Bank, and I'm gonna show you guys how banks have already tested custodying cryptocurrency and what they're doing. They pulled back because of regulation. I told you guys that everything is going to be determined off of regulation. The Ripple SEC case is so important right now. So this is the crypto phenomenon, consumer and attitude and usage. So this is a survey that they did, and this is why Visa's into cryptocurrency. This is why MasterCard's into cryptocurrency. That's why they're all creating crypto cards, because they know it's coming, warriors. We're just going through the, first they resist it, then they sue it, then they regulate it. We're in sue and regulation, and then they're all going to join it. So it says cryptocurrencies and other digital currencies are part of the popular consensus, poised for additional growth, especially in emerging markets, with wide reach implications for payment finances and e-commerce. The hype and headlines have made their impact. We see almost universal awareness of cryptocurrencies at 94% globally among adults with discretion over the household finances. Crypto is moving from a niche asset class for a small community of investors to a broader market, increasing accessible for the mainstream and new adopters. While cryptocurrency adoption is still in the early stages, it is significant and growing fast. Nearly 1 of the 3 crypto-aware consumers already own or use cryptocurrencies, with the majority saying that their use has increased in the past year 62%. This is people who are in cryptocurrency. Okay, so you can go through and read this whole document here. If you just type in the crypto phenomenon, consumer attitude with Visa, it'll pop up. Now let's listen to from the horse's mouth. This is at the DLT crypto. This was on April 10th, 2022. Okay, DLT, crypto and digital value in banking and payment sector. This is blockchain Australia. So the first gentleman, I think, is from Visa. Yeah, he's from Visa. So that was that little white paper we're reading. And the other lady we're going to listen to she is from Commonwealth Bank, massive bank in Australia. So we're going to watch a little bit of a longer video, but I think this is important that we listen to what they're saying. This is what the companies are doing right now.
Amongst Australian consumers, which is obviously significantly higher than where it's been in the past. As you rightly say, over a quarter, 27% of the respondents have either held or currently hold crypto assets of some form. So that again was a huge eye-opener to us. We knew that it had grown, but we didn't know to what extent. And when you look at the results for Australia and compare that to the other 7 markets that we investigated, we found that it was very similar across the globe. Taking that further forward, of that 27% that have owned crypto assets or currently own crypto assets, a massive 82% of them said that they would actually like to buy from their main financial institution, which is obviously good news for the rest of the panelists here. So they want to be able to get those crypto services not only from exchanges like crypto.com and Coinbase, but they're also looking for those capabilities from their main bank. And then if you look at things like rewards, again, 8 out of 10 of those respondents said that they would like to get crypto-related rewards from their card. So whenever they use their Visa card, they want to not get frequent flyers necessarily, but they want the option of crypto points as well. So crypto rewards in the form of Bitcoin or ETH or some other some other tokens. So I think overall what we've noticed is that there's this huge adoption by Australian consumers. The number of skeptics has obviously reduced significantly as well. So the number of skeptics is now just at 11%. So the anti-crypto or the non-crypto believers are actually reducing really rapidly. So I think overall this widespread mainstream adoption is very much here. We believe it's here to stay. And we're obviously working with our clients, our big bank clients, to understand what their strategy to be. Our opinion is very much that every financial institution and every large merchant should have a crypto strategy. And what we mean by that is take a good consolidated look at the facts, look at your consumer base and look at your customers and make a decision on whether you want to be involved in crypto assets and digital currencies or not. Either way, that is a strategy. If you decide not to participate after taking a look at all of the evidence, that in itself is a strategy. So through our crypto advisory team, that's exactly what we're doing.
Okay, so that's Visa crypto advisory team, right? Now we're going to listen to Commonwealth Bank, who is an actual massive bank in Australia, and what they did and what they've done just recently, and I'll explain to you why they did it.
I'll just echo that for anyone in the traditional finance space. You need to have a crypto strategy. You heard it from Visa here at Blockchain Week. I'm going to move to the other end of the panel. Sophie, you are head of blockchain and digital assets at Commonwealth Bank. You're a big deal around these parts. You've been working in blockchain for a long time now. I remember it's been a few years since I saw you come and present at Treasury about your world's first bond on the blockchain. And one of the other big jaw-dropping moments in the Australian crypto industry last year was the announcement from CBA about CommBank Crypto. So I'm sure that everyone here is really aching to hear from you. Why did CBA decide to do this? Because this is an unprecedented move in Australian banking. And what have been some of the early lessons since you made this announcement?
Thanks, Chloe. So we've been observing this space for some time, watching crypto, watching it mature and evolve and working out what, if anything, we should do in that space. We're already very active in looking at the underlying blockchain rails, but crypto itself presented some unique opportunities and challenges as a regulated institution. So we looked at the data, and about 900,000 of our customers have transferred money to crypto exchanges over the last 2 years. We've got a pretty good read on the Australian population. 1 in 3 Australians have a banking relationship with CBA. And so we see this activity happening. Our customers are already there, already in this space. You could say it's already mainstream based on our stats. So it's really about customer demand, but also unmet needs, because our customers have been coming to us for several years with concerns. Unfortunately, some of them related to fraud or scams, and also friction in relation to transfers in and out of exchanges, which is often because the exchanges are doing the right thing on KYC, but it's a frustrating customer experience. So with customer demand certainly there, we then thought about our compliance environment. And we noted the maturity of the environment now. We have, for example, in our partner Chainalysis, a very good suite of tools which enable us to analyse exactly what's happening on the blockchain. 5 years ago, we may not have had that level of confidence. So we launched CommBank Crypto in December. And so far, the response has been extremely positive. What it is within the CommBank app, you can buy, sell and hold 10 different cryptocurrencies. We've noticed that engagement in the app is up for people who are part of the pilot. And overwhelmingly, the feedback has been positive. The biggest complaint we've had is customers who haven't been let into the pilot yet.
Okay, so we'll leave it right there. So the biggest complaint they've had is customers not in the pilot yet. I know many of us in cryptocurrencies, a lot of people went in for sovereignty, but I'm telling you guys, the general public doesn't think like we do. They're not trying to create their own bank. They just want safety. They want to be told it's safe. Banks are feverishly moving towards custodying your cryptocurrency. And that is good for cryptocurrency holders who are getting in very early right now at these types of prices, Warriors. I'm not telling you to buy. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. I'm dollar cost averaging in. I still think cryptocurrency is going to go a lot lower. Here's something important that they said. She said, listen, there's a lot of, things, compliance stuff. Well, this is what happened, right? So they launched this. Customers are using it. Great response. The other customers are pissed because they couldn't get into the pilot, but they pulled back. Commonwealth Bank pauses in-app cryptocurrency trading after market turmoil. Bank says it will pause rollout app based on trading of assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum pending further regulation. They're all waiting for the Ripple SEC case to end. That's it. And once that shit ends and there's clarity, holy shit, Warriors, hang on to your seats. Mass adoption is coming in. You're going to see bank after bank after bank roll out custody of crypto. Well, JV, how can they do that? Well, guess what? They've been able, Brian Brooks, who was the head of the OCC, who came from Coinbase, head legal counsel, to run the OCC, federally chartered banks and thrifts may provide custody service for crypto assets. This is the Office of Currency Control. Banks are already allowed to custody your crypto. They're already allowed. They already put this in place in 2020 where we're all looking this way at a C-word narrative, Warriors. It's in place. It's ready to go. So this opportunity right now, if you're not in crypto and you're not on the train, Warriors, get in the academy. We're all rising together, Warriors. I'm telling you, this is the greatest time in human history. Cut out your frivolous spending. Cut out your Starbucks. Invest $80 a month into the speculative asset, Warriors. You need to decide which one you think the winners are. Learn how to research, okay? So these are just things that I wanted to show you guys. This is the Association of Bankers of Canada. They're talking about cryptocurrency, a present stablecoin, are primarily used in facilities, transactions on cryptocurrency platforms, acting as a bridge between cryptocurrencies and fiat currencies. I'm not going to dive too much into this. I just like to show you documents, some of the documents that I'm reading here. A coming crypto storm for central banks focused on digital monies intensifies. So basically what's going to happen is the Feds, retail CBDCs and U.S. monetary policy implementation, and stylized balance sheet analysis. So you can go through, and I was reading the full paper. Nothing that exciting. Same shit. They're trying to figure out how to regulate stable coins. The Loomis bill is pretty massive for us and a very good thing for us. She's seen Bitcoin as a commodity, which is a store of value. And then they're going to deem which cryptocurrencies are security and non-security. And then whatever crypto companies have the right infrastructure are going to survive, and the ones that don't are going to come collapsing down. Okay. So crypto is here to stay. You just have to decide when you want to get in. Everybody always gets in when everybody gets excited. And that's not the time to get in. It's time when everybody's fearful. This is the time. But listen to what Mr. Wonderful has to say about it.
What are you doing? Are you exiting some of these positions? Are you buying more?
No, I'm actually averaging down on a couple of the big market cap names. I mean, one of the challenges, and this is proof now for why we need legislation and policy on crypto, because if we had institutional capital coming in under the market, if they had allocated 50 basis points or 100 basis points to, let's say, Ethereum or Bitcoin, Solana, Polygon, whatever, you would have had a bid. Instead, because we're basically under-owned by institutions, we have tremendous volatility. And we've seen this before. This is not new. It'll, recover eventually, but this is the nature of crypto unregulated. And so my argument is this really should get us focused on policy. Right after the midterms, I'm hoping for policy on stable coins and then into other assets as well, NFTs, that kind of thing. We're at the nascent stage, but the volatility is because we don't have the institutional bid.
I do want to talk more about policy in just a moment, but before that, how should retail investors be thinking about this sell-off? Is it an opportunity to buy at a discount, or is it just too risky to make any sort of bet at the moment?
No, I mean, everybody has challenges with volatility, but I remind everybody, just go back 17 years to a stock called Amazon. It also corrected 38 to 50% every year for 12 years in a row as people tried to figure out what this new entity was. And so there's always tremendous volatility in new and nascent technologies and new markets. And crypto is a new market. I still predict in 10 or 12 years, it'll be the 12th sector of the S&P.
So we'll leave it right there. It's just like the .com, Warriors. It's just like the .com, and your job is to develop emotional intelligence during this. To develop emotional intelligence. That's not a disrespectful thing to say. Emotional intelligence is when you're not like the sheep. You're not like the 99%. You don't get swayed by the news or swayed by the markets. Remember, those who control the money, control the information, control the people. You need to dive into the companies that you're invested in. Understand. That's why I do a CEO update every single week. That's why I talk about my fundamental cryptocurrencies, why I'm invested in things like VeChain, why I'm invested in Ethereum that's connected to consensus, which is deep inside the banking system. Why, if Bitcoin goes in between 10 and 14, I still have my narrative on Bitcoin. I mean, think about it. It was created right after one of the biggest financial collapses in our human history, the housing collapse, and all of a sudden we still don't know who Satoshi Nakamoto is. I don't know. That seems kind of weird to me, but it is going to be a store of value. That's where it's heading to. So after years of just following it and understanding what they're doing with it, and that it's not going to go to zero, Warriors, they may collapse it very close to zero, but that's for a buying opportunity, Warriors. This is the greatest time in human history to get into a speculative asset. Don't go mortgage your house. Don't get credit cards to buy cryptocurrency. Change your habits, Warriors. Create cash flow. Get a side hustle. There's many things you can do, Warriors. We appreciate you guys. I hope to see you in www.3T as in Tom, warrior.com. Warriors, let's get your shit together. Let's go.